Hola, hola, bienvenidos, buenas tardes, nos da mucho gusto tenerlos en este nuevo webinar de Student World. Como ya saben, siempre buscando las mejores oportunidades para estudiar en el extranjero y con nuestra especialidad que es Canadá. Les damos la bienvenida, estamos muy contentos. We are very happy having you, Lauren Cullen from the university. How are you, Lauren?
Great.
We are very happy and we are having several students connected already.
Wonderful.
Let me ask them about if they can hear well and the video is working well. ¿Me pueden contestar por el chat, por favor, si nos están viendo y escuchando bien? Les agradecería si me contestan un mensajito ahí por el chat. Lo tienen ahí, en el menú del lado derecho. Yo puedo ver que ya están conectados. Betty, Gaby, Gabriel, Mónica, Diego, Miguel, Areli, Patricia, Jorge, Yuria, Mateo, muchos estudiantes, gracias, ya están conectados. Do you speak English? Les quiero preguntar si hablan inglés, porque la presentación va a ser en inglés. Lauren no habla español y yo no hablo muy bien inglés, entonces la presentación va a ser en inglés. Me gustaría si me comentan qué tal están de inglés, ¿están bien con el inglés para que la presentación sea en inglés? Perfecto. The most of them speak English. Perfect. Okay. Let me start with a Scottish video because Nova Scotia is the Canadian Scottish province. So we want to put a Scottish environment starting this presentation, please.
Oh, Carlos, you're muted.
Sorry, always playing the video. I prefer to close my mic, but always forget to open it again. Lauren, it is common to find in Halifax and in Nova Scotia pipes and drums like these ones.
It is, yeah. Nova Scotia is Nova Scotia, New Scotland, and we do have a Citadel Hill. It's a World War II fortress, as you'll see in a photo in my slides, kind of right in the middle of the city of Halifax, and they will often have pipers and drummers and similar parades in the Citadel.
Perfect. I have already some another videos from St. Mary's University, the residents, but if you prefer to start with the presentation, or do you prefer to start with the video?
We can start with the video if you like.
Okay. Let me run another video from St. Mary's.
Okay.
And the last one, Lauren, if can I, about Halifax?
Sure.
Okay, visit Halifax video. Okay, thank you. Welcome again, everybody, to this webinar about St. Mary's University in Halifax, Nova Scotia's capital, a very, very nice and beautiful city. And we have again, let me introduce again with Lauren Cullen directly from St. Mary's. Lauren, go ahead, please.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to start the presentation here. Hopefully you can see. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, I can start if you want.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so welcome everyone. Thank you so much, Carlos, for hosting this webinar. It's a little after 6 p.m. here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Thanks for showing that video also. Whenever I see videos of Halifax, I always enjoy it so much. And I love my city. This is where I'm from, and certainly love speaking to students around the world about Halifax as well. So today I'm talking to you about St. Mary's University. So I know that some of you may have attended my presentation previously, but I certainly am here to provide more information and talk about our undergraduate degree programs and all of your opportunities as international students in Halifax, in Canada, and here at St. Mary's University. So Halifax is on the beautiful east coast of Canada. In the video that Carlos just shared, I think you could see lots of images of the beautiful ocean. We are surrounded by coastline, lots of beautiful beaches, lots of great hiking, lots of outdoor activities. Halifax is a 2-hour flight from Toronto or New York, or a 1-hour flight from Montreal or Boston. So it is very accessible. People often ask about the weather in Halifax. It's pleasant. We have 4 seasons. Right now it is fall, so I can see the sun setting All of the leaves are changing colors to yellow, orange, and red for the fall colors. In the winter, we have the second mildest winter in Canada, so we don't get a lot of snow in extremely cold temperatures. It's quite mild. In the summertime, we have lots of beautiful sunshine to enjoy the nature and the beaches. So this is Halifax. We are home to a little more than 400,000 people, making us the largest city east of Montreal. We are known as being very safe and friendly and welcoming, very multicultural and student-centered. St. Mary's University is one of 6 universities in Halifax. So it's very much a student city, which is great for international students who come here from around the world.
Sorry.
That's okay, go ahead.
Look in this area view, where is located the university? This view appears?
Yeah, so up here in the top right corner, you should be able to see a little maroon circle there. That's where St. Mary's University is located. So we're right in the heart of the city. We're a 15-minute walk to the downtown city center.
And also it's a big campus, no? How many hectares do you have?
I don't know how many hectares, but we are, in a couple of slides, I'll show an image of campus, but it's all located within one city block, and we're home to 7,000 students. So we're small to mid-size. Yeah, and this is the downtown Halifax waterfront. So in the summertime, this is kind of the place to be in Halifax. This would be a 15-minute walk from our campus. And it shows that the ocean is a big part of life in Halifax. We're also the #2 city in Canada for wage diversity and tech growth. We've been called one of TripAdvisor's top global destinations on the rise. It's very welcoming and safe. Along the waterfront, you have access to amazing restaurants, farmers markets, art galleries, museums, coffee shops, and so much more. It's a very, very vibrant city that still has that smaller town feel. So it's very walkable, safe, friendly, and when people walk by you on the street, they will say hello. So Carlos, I think this is the image that you were referring to. This is St. Mary's University campus here. So we are the 3rd oldest university in Canada. We were founded in 1802. So we've been around for a very long time. We have a strong history of academic excellence and tradition. Today, we are home to 7,000 students, so we're small to mid-size, very diverse. Around a third of our students are international students from 115 different countries. We're Nova Scotia's 2nd largest research university, so there's lots of great research happening, and I'll talk about that. But as you can see, our entire campus is located all within one city block. So it's very compact. We're known for having a very tight-knit campus. So we're known for having small class sizes. I was a student at St. Mary's. My classes were all quite small. Professors all knew who I was. We have study abroad opportunities. And if you live on campus, you would live in one of our 3 residences. So you don't have to go outside to get to the cafeteria, the classrooms, the library, professors' offices. It's a very tight-knit community. So St. Mary's University has more than 50,000 alumni around the world. So the St. Mary's experience doesn't end when you leave our campus. We have connections all over the world. So our mascot is the husky dog, and we say once a husky, always a husky. St. Mary's also has a strong focus on experiential or hands-on learning. So we know that all of your learning isn't only going to happen in the classroom. That's part of it, yes. You know, lectures and textbooks and exams certainly is part of it. But you are going to find that there are lots of really cool opportunities to live your learning and apply the theory that you learn in the classroom into case studies or the real world. And I'll give you examples. Here's one example here. This is one of our geography professors and her student. They are doing research here on the ocean floor. So this is the Bay of Fundy, has the highest ocean tides in the world. They are doing research on Nova Scotia's fragile ecosystem around the province. So we are surrounded by coastline and some of the most beautiful beaches in the world as well.
This beach is very different from any other one, no? Because
this one's different because this is actually the ocean floor. So part of the day it looks like this, but the other part it's like ocean. So the tides come back in. So this one looks very different. But Carlos, before we started, was asking about the weather and how it is right now. It's very pleasant. So I was telling Carlos that last weekend, just 6 days ago, I was at the beach swimming in the ocean and I was paddleboarding and it was warm enough for that. Tomorrow, this weekend is Canadian Thanksgiving. So tomorrow I'm going hiking on Cape Breton and we're going into the Cape Breton Highlands with beautiful hiking trails. And we'll be able to see wildlife and the changing colors for fall on the trees. So there's so much to do in Nova Scotia.
Because you are surrounded by the ocean, it's a city ocean.
Yep.
How's the humidity affects the weather in Halifax?
Good question. We do have humidity. Today is actually pretty humid. So in the summer, it can be quite humid. Temperatures on average in the summer might be around 25 degrees Celsius, but with humidity, it can feel like 30 or 35. But the humidity also keeps it a bit milder in the winter. So, you know, it can be around 0 degrees Celsius on average in the winter. I think Mexico City doesn't have high humidity, does it?
No.
No.
It was a lake, but several years ago, not humidity.
Yeah.
Really, we are surrounded by mountains, but
yeah. So it's definitely, I think Mexico City is a lot drier than it would be here in Halifax. So you know you can feel that humidity. It's nice on your skin, but makes my hair a little frizzy.
But also the food and the economy is the deepest ports in the world. The second one, more deep port.
Yeah, we're an international. So in this picture here, this is the Halifax Harbor. So it's it's a major international shipping port. Sometimes the largest container ships in the world will come to Halifax. So it's a port city, lots of business, lots of export development, a lot of cool opportunities for students as well. Halifax has a great culture of small business startup and entrepreneurship. This person on your screen here is a perfect example of that. So this is Osama Nasrallah, who graduated from St. Mary's last year. He was an international student from Lebanon and is now a permanent resident in Canada. He did his Bachelor of Commerce degree, so business at St. Mary's. He was very involved. He was the head of our student government. He was involved in different societies. He had a very strong entrepreneurial spirit and actually started his own business. So in the picture here, you can see behind him a boat and some sea-doos. So he has like a sea-doo tourism company here in the Halifax Harbor. And he actually just came back to St. Mary's as a student for his MBA. And he also works full-time in banking. So he's very busy, but definitely making an impact in the community and taking what he learned at St. Mary's to allow him to do that. So I'll talk a little bit now about our programs, our bachelor degree program. So St. Mary's University is a primarily undergraduate university. So our main focus is on students who are leaving high school, like many of you, I believe, and coming into your bachelor degree at St. Mary's. So we have a 4-year Bachelor of Commerce degree. This is what I studied, actually. You'll see all of our majors here. Everything from accounting to entrepreneurship to economics to marketing, what I did. All of our majors have the option for cooperative education or co-op, which allows students to combine their studies with 3 paid work placements or 3 paid internships directly in their field. So it's pretty exciting because you can study, but also build your resume and connect with employers and earn money as well. We have a strong focus on entrepreneurship. So maybe you want to start your own business, maybe not, but you want to have that creative way of thinking. We can certainly help you with that. We have an entrepreneur in residence on campus who can help you with some cool ideas generation. Our Sobey School of Business is the oldest and largest business school in Atlantic Canada. It is very well known, one of the top business schools in Canada. It also has an accreditation called AACSB, which is the world's highest accreditation for a business school. So we are very proud of that. So here's another example of a recent graduate of St. Mary's University. This is Diksha. She came to St. Mary's as an international student from India. She was in the Bachelor of Arts program, and something this degree program does very well, I think, is it helps students develop soft skills. So things like critical thinking, communication, analytical and problem-solving skills. It helps you think outside the box, and by doing so, makes you very employable. So Diksha did her Bachelor of Arts, and after her degree, she actually opened her own restaurant. It's called Flavors of India, so it's Indian food. And she opened her own restaurant downtown. I walked by it yesterday. It's quite beautiful, and she's doing quite well. Here are all of the areas of study in our Bachelor of Arts degree. There's lots. Something that our 4-year Bachelor of Arts degree does very well is it helps students develop critical thinking skills, analytical and problem-solving skills, communication skills, creative thinking skills, but it's also very flexible. So you are able to put together a degree program that really works for you and meets your interests. So maybe you're interested in criminology and anthropology, or maybe you're interested in international development studies and global environmental politics, or social justice and community studies and culture, race and resistance in literature. Whatever your interest is, we can help you put together a degree program that works for you. You don't have to know right now exactly what you want to study. It's okay if you don't. Your first year in this degree is really about exploring and taking a variety of subjects in different areas. And you might discover a whole new area of interest, and that's what it's here for. All of our majors in the arts also have the option for co-op, so you are able to combine your studies with paid internships or work placements in your field. We are also home to a School of the Environment. So you'll see here several different programs that have an environmental focus. We know that the world is facing a lot of very serious global environmental issues that can't be ignored. And so our students in the Bachelor of Environmental Studies program are looking at these issues from different perspectives. So be it political perspective or economic or social or biological, and looking at those different perspectives. So in the image here, this is the roof of our library. It's a green roof. So students and professors are looking at ways to make an efficient green roof that is able to handle the weather in our region. So there's a Center for Green Chemistry Research on campus as well. So sometimes students ask about the difference between environmental science and environmental studies. And the way I like to explain it is Let's look at an example of an environmental disaster. So let's say there's a major oil spill. The environmental science students would look at that from a environmental cleanup perspective. So how do we clean this up? What is the impact on the ocean and the marine life and the ecosystem in this area? Whereas the Bachelor of Environmental Studies students might say, okay, why did this happen? How can we prevent it from happening? What government policies or corporate policies have to change to prevent this from happening in the future? What is the economic impact of the region? What is the social or political impact? They look at all of that.
Astrophysics is in this Bachelor of Science.
Bachelor of Science degree, you're right, Carlos. We do have a fantastic astrophysics program. So what you see here on your screen, this is our telescope in the observatory. It's one of the most sophisticated automated telescopes in Canada. It's also the first in the world that can be controlled by Twitter, which I think is pretty cool. So our students and faculty together wrote 100,000 lines of code to make this interact with social media. So you can check it out online. So if you have Twitter, find the observatory, send a tweet asking for a certain image. It will add that to its queue, take the image and tweet it back to you. So pretty cool technology. This student here, her name is Sophia. She just completed her Bachelor of Science in Astrophysics and is now in university in Germany doing her PhD in astrophysics. She's one of 2 students from North America that were accepted to that very prestigious program. So we're very proud of her.
She was coming from where?
I think from Nova Scotia. I think she's a Canadian student.
And taking advantage of you because he's connected, Jorge Gomez.
Yeah.
We are thinking that if chemistry or biology would be a requirement for astrophysics, for example.
So to get into the science program, we look for one science, biology, chemistry, or physics. So if you have one of biology, chemistry, or physics, so Jorge, if you have physics, that is fine for admission, along with your pre-calculus, which I'll get into more detail in a few moments. But you don't have to have biology to get into the astrophysics program.
Okay, thank you.
But here are all of the majors in our Bachelor of Science. Again, a 4-year bachelor's degree. Almost all of our majors offer co-op, so internships, specifically biology, chemistry, computing science, environmental science, geography, geology, and psychology. And all of our majors have really cool research happening. Because St. Mary's is a primarily undergraduate university, it allows our professors to get to know students, and our professors are all doing research, and they often have funding to hire students to help them with that research. So for example, in astrophysics, we have one of Canada's leading researchers in black holes. We have in environmental science, one of our professors, Dr. Campbell, is researching the environmental impact of former gold mines in Nova Scotia and what the tailings, like the leftovers of those gold mines, what impact they have on the soil and water quality in the area. Over the summer, we had a chemistry professor who was using wood pulp, so leftover wood chips from the forestry industry, to create N95 masks for use with the fight against COVID-19. In computing science, we have a hackathon every year. So if you are a strong programmer, you might be interested to join our programming competitions. And there's a big IBM office here in Halifax as well.
Lauren?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Okay.
But for example, these pre-health science course or before the pre-law course are available for international students?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. So pre-health sciences kind of correlates with a biology major. It just means there are certain courses that you could take that could help prepare you to apply to a medical program in Canada. And the same, I'll go back a slide to pre-law. Essentially, to get into law school in Canada, it's a second degree, prior to which you can have any 4-year bachelor's degree. But sometimes students like to know that there's certain courses pertaining to, ethics and criminology that might prepare them to apply to write the law school admissions test and apply to law school.
And do you know if several international students take advantage of the Atlantic Province Pilot Immigration Program?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. I know many, and I don't have numbers, but I know many international students who have finished their degree at St. Mary's, obtained their 3-year postgraduate work permit, and then during that time of work have successfully applied for permanent resident status in Canada. Actually, one of my friends, Carla, who is from Cancun, she did her degree at St. Mary's and then got her postgraduate work permit. And next Tuesday, she is becoming a Canadian citizen, actually. So I'm invited to watch her citizenship ceremony online.
Wow, 2 days after to apply to receive the study permit?
So what happens is once you apply to St. Mary's, you then would obtain your letter of acceptance. Once you have your offer letter, so your letter of acceptance, then you can apply for your study permit, which is your student visa. That allows you to study full-time in Canada for 4 years. During that time of study, you are allowed to work part-time on or off campus. After you finish your degree, you are then able to have a 3-year postgraduate work permit, and that allows you to work full-time anywhere in Canada, in any discipline, any field. And then during that period of work, so that 3-year period, that's when you can apply for permanent resident status and take advantage of the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Project.
Which means that if you get a contract, you can apply already for the permanent residency.
Exactly, yeah. Once you start working, it doesn't have to be in the field that you studied. You can work in any field. You can apply for permanent resident status.
Okay, thank you. Great.
Great opportunity. I mean, if international students might want to study and then stay in Canada, certainly it's a fantastic opportunity for students.
Let me comment before that this program is probably my favorite program.
Really?
Yes, because you have the diploma, engineering diploma, to transfer to Dalhousie University or Windsor University, and both are 2 of the most renowned universities in engineering, no?
Yeah. So we offer, as Carlos said, the first 2 years of the engineering degree. So as you can see, we share the program. We collaborate with Dalhousie University, who is also here in Halifax, and the University of Windsor in Southern Ontario. So you can do it to be an engineer in Canada. It is a 4-year degree program. You can do year 1 and year 2 here at St. Mary's University, where you do benefit from small class sizes, professors who know who you are, a very active engineering student society. After year 2, you would automatically transfer to Dalhousie or Windsor, where you would complete your engineering degree. It's an automatic transfer. The reason why we have it like this, we are all public universities, and engineering it's an expensive program to operate. And so that's why we collaborate among the different universities to share those programs and the resources.
But the advantage to do it in this way for international students is that you have a more soft start program at the better price, and then you can transfer the total of credits, 100% transfer
It's a 2+2 directly. And so you're right, Carlos. The benefit is that it's a very challenging program. It's very rigorous, a lot of calculus and physics and chemistry and more. So you do benefit from that one-to-one interaction with your professors through smaller class sizes.
But also, do you think it is probably the student can get the permanent residence in between the diploma and the bachelor?
It might
get the Canadian prize for to continue.
Possible. The challenge is that this is the first 2 years of the degree. So this diploma, it doesn't qualify you to work as an engineer. So it depends. So you could work and then apply for permanent residence. But it would be taking time off in the middle of your degree, which could be challenging as you transition back into third year. So there's pros and cons to it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I will continue on. So I've highlighted and talked a little bit about our Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Environmental Studies, Science and Engineering. So that's a short introduction to our degree programs. But I also like to emphasize the supportive St. Mary's campus that St. Mary's really is. You can see here all of the different, or many of the different student supports that we offer. I always tell students, we know that, transitioning from high school into university, it's exciting. It's also scary. We know it's a big transition. So we want you to know that there are lots of services able to help you. Don't ever be afraid to ask a question, because there's probably someone on campus whose job it is to help you. So whether it's academic advising, if you need help with your course selection, the Career Services Center is fantastic. They can help you develop your resume and find job opportunities. There's a doctor's office on campus, a writing center, which is a great resource, to help you with your academic writing. The International Student Center plans lots of activities for you. Right now, we are in a virtual environment. As you can see, I'm in my home here in Halifax. Many of our student services are still working virtually, but we're all working, so we are here to help.
Now that you mentioned virtually, please take note to talk about in the end about how do you think will be the library, the next start dates in St. Mary's, please?
So we're really lucky in Atlantic Canada. We are in the Atlantic bubble, where we have very few COVID cases. So I think right now in Nova Scotia, I think we have one active COVID-19 case. So we've been very lucky. So we are right now, this term, we are virtual. In January, the next semester, some of our classes, some of our small classes will move back to in-person. Many of our first, second, and third year classes next term will still be virtual. However, we are planning for more opportunities for student events with proper mask wearing and social distancing in place, but there will be opportunities for more and more student events on campus. Our library will reopen in person in January. Our athletic center has reopened now. So things are starting to reopen, and we're being very cautious, but certainly we're going in the right direction. As for next September, I can't comment yet that far in the future, but if things continue to go well, I have a feeling we'll have much more back in person.
Good, very good.
And as of October 20th, so very soon, international students will be allowed back into Canada. So they'll be exempt from the travel restrictions, so long as their institution is approved, as long as the government has approved our quarantine plans and our COVID plans. So we are working very hard on that right now, and certain that St. Mary's will be approved to welcome international students.
Okay.
So we do have great student life on campus. In this top left corner where it says student life, you can see some of our residences. And then over here in the top right corner, you can see a typical residence room. We do encourage students to live on campus, at least for your first year. It is such a good way to be fully immersed in the St. Mary's community. All of our residences are interconnected, so you don't have to go outside to get to class, which on rainy days is really convenient. It also means that you're a part of this vibrant community. We have lots of different clubs and societies, so there are so many ways to get involved. This is just a few. There are many, many more. Every year in September, during the first week of class, we have a society expo, kind of like a little trade show. This term it was virtual, that you can walk through and meet other students that have similar interests to you. Maybe you want to join Model UN. Maybe you want to join the International Student Society and promote cultural events on campus. Maybe you want to join the Biology Society or the Commerce Society. Whatever your interest is, there's probably something on campus for you. If we have any student athletes tuning in, we are, again, the St. Mary's Huskies, so there are lots of sports. We have varsity sports, everything from soccer, track and field, cross country, hockey, rugby, football, basketball, volleyball. And then we have lots of intramural and club sports as well that anyone can get involved in. Some of our athletics are starting to retrain and play now. Across Canada this semester, the competitive sports were canceled due to COVID, but because Nova Scotia is doing so well, some of our sports teams are able to resume training now, which is wonderful. And our fitness center and our skating arena have just reopened. So in terms of admissions, when you are looking at universities in Canada, it is all about finding the right fit for you. So hopefully the information that I've given you this afternoon is helpful. Hopefully, maybe St. Mary's might sound like a good fit for you for your bachelor level studies. When we assess you for admission, we're looking at your high school transcript. So if you are in your senior year, if you're in grade 12 now, you can apply with your mid-year or your first semester transcript. We're looking at 5 subjects in particular, as you can see on your screen here. And the 5 subjects will vary depending on the program to which you apply. So for example, Jorge, who might apply to the Bachelor of Science for Astrophysics, will look for your English pre-calculus, or I think you're an IB, so IB, SL, or HL mathematics, 1 of biology, chemistry, or physics, and 2 other academic subjects.
And you will talk about the scholarships further?
Will, yeah. So if you apply and you have a 70% average or an IB score of 24 or higher, we'll automatically offer you admission. And if you apply with an 80% average or a 26 predicted IB score or higher, we automatically will grant you a scholarship. So you'll have this scholarship listed in your offer letter. It's automatic. They range in annual value from 1,000 to 7,000 Canadian dollars per year. There are other scholarships you can apply for. The due date is by March 1st. So the named entrance scholarships can be anywhere from a few hundred to many thousands of dollars. There's the presidential and IB presidential scholarships that are valued at additional $36,000 over 4 years. Those are for top students, so 95% or higher, or an IB 36 or higher. So please apply, and the deadline is March 1st.
Usually, this is an entrance scholarship.
It is, yeah.
Well, the students can keep it during the other years if they maintain the point average required.
That's exactly right. Yeah, so it's renewable. So if you maintain, it's like an 80% average, a B average, you would renew that scholarship each year.
And usually the international students maintain the average from the beginning, because the first year is a difficult year, no?
First year is tough, certainly. Not everyone keeps the scholarship. Many do, but it is hard work, and that's why I really emphasize accessing campus resources. Like, you're not on your own to do your classes. There are lots of folks on campus that can help you. If you have to write a paper, they can help you edit it and formulate a thesis statement. If you have trouble with your mathematics and science classes, there's a numeracy center that has tutors that can help you. This is all free. The library can help you reference your work properly and learn how to do research. The list goes on. So you are not on your own. So Carlos, you're right that first year can be really tough. And certainly you are studying in a language that is not your first language, a country that is different, but we want to see you succeed. And your academic advisors certainly do monitor your academic performance and will reach out to you if they notice any difficulties as well. So another detail here is the cost, or the tuition. So the average annual cost is around 20,000 Canadian dollars per year. That's for 2 semesters, so for September until April. And that's for a full course load of 30 credit hours or 5 classes per semester. Fees include medical and dental coverage and a bus pass. And meals and accommodations are there. So we have guaranteed residence to live on campus with unlimited meals and all you care to eat meal plan. So annual cost will be around 34,000 Canadian dollars, which is approximately 25,000 US dollars per year.
Lauren, and when do you know if you can have got the scholarship? Before to pay?
You are admitted. When we assess you for admission, we assess for admission and scholarship at the same time. So for the automatic entrance scholarships, the $1,000 to $7,000, that is in your offer letter. For the additional awards, the ones that you need to submit a separate application for, those you would apply for by March, and you would learn about the award by April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
But also, even if the parents must to show the capacity to pay this amount, the reality is that the students can work and study in the most of the cases, no? Probably astrophysics is not the case, or it depends of the program.
Yeah, so international students are allowed, when you have your study permit, you are allowed to work part-time on or off campus. Now, in terms of the capacity to pay, that is part of the student visa application process. So that's a decision by the Canadian government. So the embassy in Mexico City, the visa office there, would make that decision based on your offer letter, your scholarship, and the financial ability for covering your education and living expenses. But yes, you are able to work. So you can work part-time during the school year, up to 20 hours a week. That's a lot. When I was a full-time student, I worked around 10 or 12 hours a week, and that was plenty. You can work full-time during breaks, though. So over the summer, between May to August, you could work 40 hours a week and earn a pretty good amount over the summer. Minimum wage in Nova Scotia, I believe, is $12.55 Canadian per hour right now.
And it is common that the international students work and study?
Yes, very common. Yeah. Very common. So on the screen here, here's a proposed timeline. So right now we are in October. Can't believe it's October already. So you might be starting, if you're in your senior year, you might be starting now to think about the application process. And again, I hope that St. Mary's sounds like a good fit for you. We'd love to welcome you to campus, and we'd love to have you apply. Carlos can assist you with the application. We'll ask you for the application and your high school transcript. It will take us around 2 to 3 weeks to assess you for admission, and you'd have your offer letter and notice of a scholarship as well.
So now is all the applications are open?
It's open, yeah. Course registration would happen if you decide to come to St. Mary's. We will help you choose your courses in April. And then before you know it, September will be here next year, and hopefully we'll have a vaccine for COVID-19. So hopefully things will be back in person.
So what do you expect for the September 2021 in these unusual circumstances? Because the most of the students, international students, are delaying or transferring their start date for the next year.
Yeah, I mean, September 2021 is still very far away, so I can't predict what would be the case, but based on the situation at present in Nova Scotia, things are good. Things are opening up. Again, January, we'll have some classes in person and some more in-person activities. So hopefully that will continue to have lots of in-person by next September.
Okay.
But it's hard to predict at this point. So that is an introduction to St. Mary's University. We've showed you some great videos of campus and Halifax. We've talked about the city itself, campus, small class sizes, tight-knit sense of community. We've talked about our programs, arts, business, science, environmental studies, engineering. We've talked about student services and campus life and admissions and scholarships and tuition. Carlos, is there anything that you would like me to add here, or would you like to have some input? I know that you've been to Nova Scotia before we open it up to question and answer.
Yes, please. If you want to ask anything, I have visited before Nova Scotia, and it's a very beautiful city. I remember the gardens and my tour in an ship in earth and sea. How do you say? Amphibious ship, or?
Yes, the harbor hopper, amphibious vehicle. So it's a vehicle that can go on land and then it turns into a boat in the water.
Yes.
On a tour. You know, I've actually never been on that myself. It provides a great tour of Halifax.
Yeah, but also the food, to me, it was amazing. Very good food. Much more quality than in the most of the cases in Canada, because it's not a typical North American food. It's more seafood.
Lots of fresh seafood. Nova Scotia has a big fishing industry. You can find food from around the world as well. So everything from Indian food to Vietnamese to comida mexicana, auténtica, Italian, you name it, you can probably find it in Halifax. Really good restaurants, I can guarantee that. Great nightlife and culture, historic museums, beautiful art galleries, amazing farmers market. We Nova Scotians love to buy local when possible. So like local fruits and vegetables, local artisan crafts and coffee, and it's just a really nice place to study, to live, and to work.
Yes, it's true. And also another, to me, interesting thing is that the people is more, I don't know how to say, probably most hot people, is more close to you. I don't know, it's different.
Yeah, I think Nova Scotians in general are friendly and quite welcoming. So yeah, it's a very welcoming place. It's an urban and vibrant city, but still has that small town feel.
Yes. So if you want to talk to us anything, or I can pass you the microphone also if you want.
So yeah, open it up to questions.
I know that the most of you did the presentation before during the mission champ at your school, but we are having more time in this case, and we can talk more in depth about St. Mary's University, and you can ask anything if you want.
I am here. I'm here to answer your questions, and happy to help. I think as an international student, you would really love Halifax. It's, I think students know the cities of Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver, or the MTV, that they're the bigger cities in Canada. But Halifax is very much a hidden gem of Canada, and I like it that way. We are one of the fastest growing cities in Canada right now, so lots of development happening, lots of job growth. There are lots of newcomers to Halifax, both in the form of students and new immigrants. And many people from other parts of Canada are moving here as well because of the cost of living, the affordability, the quality of life here is pretty incredible. So I'm able to, find great restaurants. I have access to the shopping malls and great shops and museums and art galleries. But also I can go for a walk in nature. Every day I walk my dog through the woods and I see deer and wildlife. Last weekend I swam in the ocean and went paddleboarding on beautiful turquoise water. Tomorrow I'm going to Cape Breton for a holiday, and we're going hiking, and on some of the trails you can see moose and whales and seals, and you can find a little bit of everything. People are very outdoorsy, whether you like to run or cycle or paddle or ski. You can find it here, and different activities for different seasons.
Yes. So if you want to click in the little hand to speak, you can do it. If not, we can finish it. Do you want to add something else, Lauren?
I think, the best piece of advice that I would give is, if you are thinking about Canada, I think by being here this evening, you're probably thinking about Canada, and that's great. The thing about choosing a university in Canada is that it is about the right fit. So in Canada, we don't have an official ranking system. We really emphasize that you find the right location for you. So maybe that's Halifax. The right program for you, maybe it's astrophysics or national development studies or entrepreneurship or business. Find the right program, find the right campus environment. So St. Mary's is a great fit for many students who are seeking that smaller, primarily undergraduate experience, smaller class sizes. Then it could be a great fit.
Lauren, do you have the opportunity to have an exchange semester during your bachelor?
Yeah.
For example, with Ireland?
I went to France for one semester when I was a student. So I did a study abroad program in France. We have exchanges in more than 20 different countries. Some of them could be a full year. Some of them could be 2 to 6 weeks for a field trip. So yeah, we have lots of international exchange opportunities.
And your co-op programs are mandatory or
optional? So co-op is
optional?
optional. And it's available for all of the arts, all of the commerce, and most of the science majors. Carlos, I do see a question here from Yuria Hernandez Tovar. Yuria is wondering about the marketing undergraduate.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So I could tell you about that, Yuria. I did a marketing major. You would apply to our Bachelor of Commerce degree program, and then you can declare your major in marketing in your second year. I loved the program. There were classes. My favorite class was actually statistics because the professor was so incredible. I liked my consumer behavior course where you learn to understand like what consumers are thinking and why they act the way they do in terms of their buying habits. I loved my course on strategic management, so understanding marketing, but also how you tie that into other factors in business like accounting and finance and business development. Social media and advertising courses. Yeah, there were some really neat courses in the program.
También Carlos Tello, si tú quieres preguntar. Also, Carlos, if you want to ask, you can write your question on the chat, please.
So I see Carlos's question. What's the process, cost, requirements to continue after the engineering diploma? So it's an automatic transfer. Our advisors would help you with that. The cost, there's no cost to apply, but the tuition would be roughly the same. So,
Carlos Telles is asking, what is the process, the fees and requirements to continue after the diploma? I think she's asking for engineering diploma, I think.
Yeah, so it's an automatic transfer. Your academic advisor helps you with it, so it's a very easy process. And then the cost would only be the tuition for the following year, which would be pretty consistent with the tuition at St. Mary's.
The diploma is the same price that.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the scholarship, it depends of the academic merit that you have in your point average from your high school.
Exactly. So 80% and higher, or an IB predicted diploma score of 26 or higher.
But you consider only the last year of the full high school?
Grade 12.
Grade 12 only. And not the total of subjects, because in Mexico we have a lot of subjects, not as in Canada, no? Only the subjects.
Yeah, we look specifically at the 5 required subjects for your program. So for example, if you're applying to business, we'll look at English, math, and 3 other academic subjects. So the 80% for a scholarship is based on those 5 subjects.
Patricia Vasquez, Patty is asking a very good question to me, because to study law for international students is available for international students. You can get your bachelor in law or to become lawyer or judge.
Law in is a second. So you first begin with a 4-year bachelor's degree, like a 4-year Bachelor of Arts, for example. After you finish your 4-year bachelor's, then you can write the law school admissions test, the LSAT. Then you can apply to law school. It's competitive. It's not guaranteed admission.
When you was answering, your voice was cut. You mentioned that the bachelor in law is the second one. You must do
a 4-year bachelor's degree first. So for example, you could do a Bachelor of Arts, after which you would write the law school admissions test, and then you can apply to law school.
Okay, Jorge Gomez is asking if you can get 2 scholarships at the same time.
Yes.
Also, does every undergraduate program have the same costs?
No. So our tuition does differ by program. So arts is around 19,000 Canadian dollars per year. Science and business are around 20,000 Canadian dollars per year. Engineering is around 24,000 Canadian dollars per year.
Okay, thank you. And Andrea Dubois is asking, which are the academic subjects I need if I want to study psychology?
Great question. So psychology We offer as a major in both the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science degrees. So for the Bachelor of Arts option, we would look for your grade 12 English and 4 other academic subjects. For science, we'd look for English, pre-calculus mathematics or calculus mathematics, 1 science of biology, chemistry, or physics, and 2 other academic subjects.
In private, is asking also, Monica, can you find the course list on your website for each bachelor?
Yes.
Can you show us, Lauren? You can share the screen. I can stop the presentation, and then in the screen beside the microphone, you can share the screen.
Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now.
Yes, we are watching your screen.
Okay. Now you can see the St. Mary's University homepage. So I'm going to hold my mouse over academics here, undergraduate programs. So here's a list of all of our majors. Each one you can click on it, find out more about it, sample courses, testimonials, and more. So each one is on here. Is that okay?
Yes, but for example, the Bachelor of Commerce, where they can find the Bachelor of Commerce.
So each major is here. So for example, accounting is there. And then if I want to go to the Bachelor of Commerce, that's taken me there. Is that okay?
So it's okay, thank you. Another question is, so you don't need to apply specifically for scholarships, only applying for the university you are considered.
That's right.
Okay. Yes, I think that's all the questions at the moment. Thank you very much, Andrea, Jorge, Patty, all of you. Thank you, Carlos, Jorge. See you after when you get your predictive for IB. Recuerden que los que tienen IB pidan su predictive para aplicar lo más pronto posible, porque sí se pueden llenar los programas. The programs can become full quickly. So apply as soon as possible, please.
Great.
Okay. Yes, I have a lot of photos when I visited Nova Scotia. In another opportunity, I will show you, but it's an amazing city, beautiful city. And it is different culture, very good academic level, a lot of opportunities to work and study, to develop as a professional, and also to immigrate. So it's a very good option. And the student world can help you step by step, no extra costs in any sense. So you only will pay the application fee for the university and your tuition fee directly to the university, but we have the mission to help you in anything, at your families and you.
Yep.
So thank you.
It's nice to have a place there to help you through the application process. So please don't be afraid to contact Student World and request their assistance.
Okay, thank you very much, Lauren. Gracias a todos.
Gracias a todos. Que tengan una buena noche.
Gracias, Lauren. Buenas noches también para ti.
Okay, hasta pronto.
Hasta pronto.
Okay, bye-bye.
You must to close the webinar, remember.
Okay, so I close it. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.